WHCM 88.3 Chi-Town, and right now via Skype, the online webcam, we have director David Seth Cohen. What's up, man?
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
We're doing really good, and now you are the director of Finding Sandler, and where can you be found online? On Twitter, on Facebook, where at?
Well, our Facebook page is Finding Sandler, facebook.com/Finding Sandler, and our Twitter handle is Finding Sandler.
Sounds good. And now, now me and Neil know the background of what happened, but for everyone out there in Radio Land that doesn't know what happened, tell us a bit of a background about the movie.
Well, basically, Finding Sandler documents my quest to have a drink with Adam Sandler.
Okay.
A drink that I passed up back in 1998.
And what happened exactly?
Well, back in 1998, I got my first job on the movie Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And growing up, I was always a big Adam Sandler fan, from Saturday Night Live, and then to his movies Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. And but what really did it for me with him is the Hanukkah song. You know, growing up as a Jewish kid, there were never any Hanukkah songs out there. So for me, you know, that song just had a lot of meaning. It was really cool. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Funny, and you know, possibly one of the greatest holiday songs of all time.
It really is.
So, you know, that's what really got me with Sandler. So I was really excited to be working on this movie because I was like, hey, you know, I might have a chance to actually have a drink with this guy.
Yeah.
Or meet him, you know. You know, throughout production, I would see him on the set, and you know, he was always really cool. Just be like, hey, what's up, man? You know, and I'd be like, hey, what's up? And then one day I had to go to his apartment. This was the first time I was there. It was with my boss and her assistant. I happened to work for the costume designer, and we went there because he needed to fit some clothes on. And you know, when I got in, I was 22 years old, fresh out of college, and I guess he saw that I was a little shy at the time, and he started asking me a lot of questions. You know, like, you know, what are your favorite sport team? Do you like the Giants? Mets and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it ended up, I had to actually leave the apartment because I had a shoot the time I got back.
Yeah.
My boss and were outside. So the second, which is actually what kind of sparked this, my boss and I, he wanted to wear something from the set of Big Daddy to the Waterboy premiere. And
yes.
Me to deliver them to the front desk, to the doorman. She asked me to drive home this other production assistant. Her name was Autumn. And after that, I was told, you know, drop the car back off and go home for the night. So, you know, when I went to Sandler's building. I left Autumn in the car. I brought the clothing to the front desk, and the doorman told me just bring him up to Adam. So I was like, all right. You know, I went up to his apartment. I knocked on the door, and you know, through the door, like, he started messing with me. Like, who is it? What do you want? Dave, I'm just a PA. I'm here to deliver your clothes for the premiere tonight. So he opens the door. He's got this huge smile on his face, and he's like, hey, man, why don't you come in for a drink? And I was like, I kind of froze for a second because, you know, A, I wasn't expecting that to ever happen. And then B, I'm thinking, if I go in here, my boss is going to kick my ass.
Yeah.
Look, I got automating the car. I can't. And, you know, he was like, all right, you know, but behind him was his assistant, who is in a lot of his movies. His name is John Lochran. And John and I used to, like, BS at, you know, breakfast truck and, you know, over breakfast sometimes.
Yeah.
And, so he knew of me also, and he was like, hey, Dave, just come in and at least check out the balcony that we have here. Because what happened is, so I went in, they take me out to their balcony, which is like this wrap-around balcony around the apartment in Manhattan. It was insane. The view was unbelievable. And I got out there, and I said, hey, listen, guys, I really got to get going. And I left. And I never had the chance to actually hang out with him again like that.
Yeah.
And so if you fast forward now, 8 years. I had turned 30 in January of 2006, and there was a surprise party that was thrown for me. and it was like this big wake up call for me. Where like, because when I was 30, I was living in my grandmother's basement with my girlfriend at the time and my 2 dogs, and I was a Jewish guy working at a Catholic TV station. I mean, my life just wasn't where I had hoped.
Yeah.
At age 30, and then when you're in a relationship, you start thinking about, I want to get married one day. I want to have a family. I'm going to need to afford to have a house and all that kind of stuff. And, the job I was at wasn't a very high paying job. So, there were nights where I would literally toss and turn in bed, just thinking what if, what if I stayed and had to drink with Adam Sandler? Would my life be any different? Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Who knows? But at least the way I was looked at was I've been able to get some great advice from a gentleman that's highly respected in the film industry. I would have been able to tell him about my dreams and find out what his dreams were, and it would have been a really cool thing. I mean, not a lot of people get a chance to actually sit down and drink with their hero, or even somebody that they highly respect in their industry. It's kind of like, one of those computer guys saying, Bill Gates, no, I don't want to check Windows 7 with you, buddy, or Windows 8.
Freaking Steve Jobs.
No, but yeah, so you always kind of felt like it was just this missed opportunity, with lead or anything to that effect. But in the summer of '06, one night, again, I was up tossing and turning, and I fell asleep, and I had a dream that night, and in my dream, I went to California looking for Adam Sandler. And during the dream, I ran into a bunch of people that were from the set of Big Daddy. Nobody wanted to help me find him. Somehow I ended up in what my vision of his production company was. And then I ended up in their lunchroom, and I was talking to somebody directly in front of me, across from me. And he was diagonal from me and overheard me talking. And then he just started talking to me. And we started walking and talking, and I woke up. And when I woke up, I felt like it was just that I had to do something.
Yeah.
And if I didn't do something, I'd just go on regretting it for the rest of my life. And, at the time, not only was I working for this television station as a senior producer, but I also had my own production company with a guy named Dan Hagendorf. He was my business partner. So immediately when I woke up, it was 7 a.m. or something, something around that. And I called Dan and I said, "Hey, Dan, listen, I want to make a movie." He's just waking up. He's like, "What?" And he called 5 Dan. I'm like, "I want to go on a quest to find Adam and have the drink that I passed up in 1998.
Yeah.
All right, man, whatever you say. I'm going back to sleep now. I'll talk to you later. And, that was the start of it. After that, I went into, my job as my regular job as a producer. And I spoke to a couple people that were immediately like, "Oh, this is a great idea, man. Can I help you? I want to do whatever it takes to help you."
Yeah.
I started just assembling a team of people. And, we just started shooting and went with it. That's how it started.
Yeah.
It's been basically 6 years in the making.
Yeah, we've been on the quest for 6 years now. It's amazing.
I'll tell you what, so many parents tell their kids, it's always seize the opportunity, breathe it all in, take in the moment. And this is literally a movie about a guy that instead of, taking that opportunity, he missed the opportunity. And I think that's going to be a great movie, that kind of everyman story.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is, there's a great lesson to be learned from my story. Actually, there's a few. First and foremost, if there's an opportunity there, grab. Don't hesitate. Grab it, no matter what. And two, follow your dreams. If there's something you've always wanted to do, and for me, I've always wanted to make movies. My goal in life has been to make feature films. And I'm doing that. So following your dreams is follow your dreams at all costs. Don't give up, and also, and third, friends, you get by with a little help from your friends, just like the song says, I wouldn't be where I was today without the guys that have helped me in the movie. This guy, Jeff Waxman, who is a producer out in Hollywood. He's produced The Fighter.
Really? Wow.
the movie called Immortals. He did Mirror Mirror, and plenty other. He's got a lot of credits, and Jeff's been by me, since the beginning. Again, Dan, like I said, Dan Hagendorn, Vincent Shrinkowski. He was the one that I worked with at Telecare that jumped on right away. Steve Hagendorn, Dan's brother, he immediately started helping once he found out about the idea. Matthew Walters, a close friend of mine who had his own business and then just took years of his life to help me pursue my dream. Recently, I've been getting help from this great friend of mine. Her name's Christina Weber. She really helped out with this Kickstarter campaign. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have reached our goal. So I'm forever grateful to her for that. And of course, Bobby Sheehan and all the guys and gals at Working Pictures in New York City. Those guys were the ones that pushed me to do this Kickstarter campaign. I was against it in the first place. I was like, I don't know. I'm not like really that type of guy that wants to do something like this. But, they convinced me that it was a great thing and it was a great way to get Finding Sandler on the map. And, I'm glad I did it.
And now on the website Kickstarter.com, you were trying to pledge for $35,000 and you beat that by $980. How does it feel that well, one, you beat the pledge, or you got more than you asked for on the website, and two, was there ever a point where you were nervous if you might not reach that?
Yeah. Well, first off, yes, we did hit our goal, and we're a little bit above our goal right now, which is fantastic, and I'm really overjoyed about that. The one thing I want to say though is the campaign's not over. We still have 3 hours left to go. So anybody that's watching this, if they want to check it out, they can go to FindingSandler.com. FindingSandler.com. Just click my picture. There's a picture page. It'll take you right to the Kickstarter page. I'm very happy that we got the goal. I was very nervous at one point that we weren't going to reach our goal. About a week or so, we were at $90,000, and then one late night, it was like 45 a.m. I happened to be awake because I've barely been sleeping throughout this whole campaign. My phone went off, and I checked it, and it was an email message, to Finding Sandler, and said that we had a $10,000 backer.
Wow. Did you ever find out who that was?
Yes, I did. The gentleman's name is Henry Kang, and actually Henry is a true angel, living, walking, breathing.
He's your savior.
I had the great honor and pleasure of meeting Henry the following day after he made the donation, and he was even cooler than I had expected when I had gotten the pledge, and I am totally in his debt for life, and I think the guy is just an outstanding person, and I'm so happy that somebody like him, somebody of his caliber, shall we say, was even interested in my project and was inspired to donate the $10,000. It just meant so much to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, David, even though you passed your goal, can people still donate to your cause?
Yeah, like I said, we still have about 40-something hours left in our campaign on Kickstarter. So they could go to the Finding Sandler website, or they could Kickstarter for Finding Sandler. We have 3 videos on there. One of them is the original campaign video, which has appearances by Adam Sandler himself, Billy Joel, Carmen Electra, Paul Schaefer, Mick Foley, and Z Snyder, just to name a few. And then we also have 2 other videos which we posted. One of them is basically with my grandmother and I. She ended up living with me for a few weeks after Hurricane Sandy hit, because she was in Long Beach and devastated. And then the other video, which is also another fantastic video, shows the guys that I had mentioned before, and how they have helped me on the quest, and why they got involved. So there's a bunch of content on there and articles that we've been featured in. So yeah, I think people should just check it out and see what it's about. Not everybody can donate, obviously, and I understand that completely. So
Yeah.
donate. I mean, just spreading the word for us is huge. We just need to get the word out there. The more people that start talking about this, the better. Hopefully it gets to Adam Sandler, and Adam says, hey, I want to do this drink with this guy. He's pretty cool.
I know. I think you should try and get in contact with one of his people and show him everything that you've accomplished. And now, if I were him, there's no way I could say no to this. There's all the work you've put in and everything you've done. It's very impressive. Now, besides Finding Sandler, was there some other projects that you've been involved in currently or in the past that you're fond of or you're currently working on?
Actually, in the process of developing a bunch of feature screenplays
Nice.
and projects. So yeah, this isn't going to be the last of me. I don't want to just, I don't want to put too much out there because not everything's ready to go yet. But
oh yeah,
there is one project that should be the screenplay should be ready within the next few weeks, and we're planning on sharing that with a few people to get some feedback. There hasn't really been any major tennis comedies out there. And when we wrote the script, we actually had it in mind for me to play one of the characters and Adam Sandler to play characters. Like I said, hopefully, when Adam is interested in not only being a Finding Sandler, but possibly being a part of our next project. That would be a dream.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And you said before that Adam Sandler brought up the Jets. Now are you a Jets fan, or what team do you root for?
I know Sandler's a Jet fan. And actually, like during the production of Big Daddy, I was at a Jet game and I got a program and I gave it to him on set. He was like, he didn't take it, but he said to me, respect. So,
yeah.
I'm assuming that meant that he liked that I had enough respect to even offer him something, knowing that he was a fan. I'm a Giants fan. I like the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Yankee. And I am a New York.
You're my buddy now.
Go Bears! Yeah, Neil's a pretty diehard Giant fan too over there. You guys would probably get along.
Yeah, and I like the Islanders and in hockey, and I like the Knicks in basketball.
Go Bulls! Go Blackhawks! Go Cubs!
I'll tell you what, Knicks aren't doing too bad right now. They're playing a tough stretch, but hopefully they got a couple of awful teams coming up, so hopefully they get a good winning streak going.
Yeah, no, totally. They got it, man. They're playing good this year, and it's exciting. No matter what, it's exciting.
In your opinion, do you think that it's important for them to be the number one seed over the Heat at the end of the year, or no?
To be quite honest, I don't know enough about basketball to chime in on that. But I do think it would be really cool for them to be the number one seed because it proves something.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And now, what did you think of the New York Giants missing the playoffs? Because I was really surprised this year that they had a pretty average year after they slipped into the playoffs last year and then won the Super Bowl. As a New York Giant fan, were you just happy that you've won 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, or were you mad that they didn't make the playoffs in general?
I mean, winning the Super Bowl is always an unbelievable feat, and it's a huge accomplishment. So I think the New York Giants and all their fans, including myself, are extremely happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the season was very disappointing, obviously. Especially after winning a Super Bowl, you expect to come back, at least make the playoffs. But, look, it was a bad year. Just anything in life, you're not always going to win. You're not always going to win in life.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's not a matter of that. It's a matter of, coming back when you're down. If somebody knocks you down for whatever reason, whether it's a sport or in life, you just got to bounce back up and say, you know what, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better because of this failure.
And
now,
now,
as a Yankee fan, how do you feel about A-Rod?
with the whole roids going on with Alex Rodriguez, what's your take on it?
No, I'm not a big fan of this whole steroid thing. I think it's,
Cheating.
it's not a big fan of it. So, pay attention to that, to be quite honest with you. But I do think it ruins the sport.
But what would you say to guys who say that it helps improve their performance, and if they are doing it, why shouldn't it just be legal? Because to me, I think it's cheating, and it puts an unfair advantage to the players who want to play clean. But nowadays, it seems like everyone's doing roids. Like, who would have thought that Lance Armstrong was on roids? So my point is, do you think it should just be made legal since it seems like everyone is doing it, or should more tight rules be made to try and make this out of the sport?
No, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's cheating. I think it gives people an advantage, and also it's not safe. So
it really isn't. No.
I just like I said, I'm totally against the whole steroids thing.
Me too.
I don't believe that these athletes should be doing it.
Yeah.
And it's just not something that should be in sports.
It really should not be. I cannot agree with you more. And now, Neil, we have to take a quick commercial break and wrap it up. So, Neil, go for it.
David, thanks so much. The movie is Finding Sandler, and us, Chi-Town at the Big Apple, will still always be promoting it.
Yes.
We'll definitely be sharing the link.
I will share it on Twitter at RyanHoppy883, and he will do it at Neil Dwyer 1993. It can be found at Kickstarter.com, and you just type in Finding Sandler, and then he's on Twitter at Finding Sandler, and on Facebook at Finding Sandler. Well, David, this was a very good interview. Thank you again for coming on the show.
My pleasure, guys. Listen, also, if anybody wants to follow me personally on Twitter, it's David Seth Cohen 1, number 1. David Seth Cohen number 1 is my handle. And again, FindingSandler.com. They could just go right there and click on the image, and it'll take them to the Kickstarter. Much easier than actually going to that Kickstarter link. Sounds good. Well, thank you for being on the show, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck with your movie and with your future endeavors. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, and have a great rest of your day. You too, David. Take care, fellas. Bye. That was movie director David Seth Cohen on Chi-Town and the Big Apple on WHCM. Hang on!